Eagle Nation, and welcome back to another edition of the GATA Zone, your one-stop shop for a deeper look inside Georgia Southern athletics. I'm your host, Danny Will of GATA Productions, and I'm here with Eagles head volleyball coach Chad Willis to talk about the fall 2026 season. Coach, welcome back to the GATA Zone. Glad you're with us.
Thanks for having me, Danny. Looking forward to a great year.
This year marks year 8 with your program here as the head coach of Georgia Southern. What is the excitement level to get back out there, to have the players back to compete after having a successful spring a couple of months ago?
Yeah, Danny. I mean, first off, it was a busy summer between recruiting and camps that we had going on here on campus. This is my favorite time of the year, the opportunity we have to get our team back, get our student athletes back on campus. First day of class is right around the corner, and that means fall ball is fastly approaching, and we're excited. We've got a great group that's been working hard over the summer, and a couple days into preseason now, and they've been getting after it, and we're ready to hit the court running.
Of course, wanting to improve off of 2025, going back to last fall, having 19 wins on the year and losing in the Sun Belt Conference quarterfinals. We had the abrupt ending with the NIVC being canceled that year, but it's coming back here in 2026. When you look at the season overall and what this team was able to produce, how do you look overall at that outlook of 2025?
Yeah, I know. You're looking back on 2025, we did a lot of great things, had a lot of great individual accomplishments. I think the one thing that we've talked about this offseason that really eluded us as a team was just that accomplishing that team goal, which ultimately every year is to compete and win a Sun Belt championship. And so this returning group, most returners we've had, coming back in the history of our program, there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of energy. It's palpable. You can feel they're hungry. They have an appetite, to want to not just get back to that conference tournament, but kind of get this program to the next level, which is to get into a final and ultimately compete for a Sun Belt championship.
And in 2025, there was a lot of newness in the team. A lot of players getting some first-time experience. I mean, Reagan Barth, who's been a 3-time first-team All-Sun Belt, she was leading the way. But you had Sam Bowen, who really got her first bit of experience. Alex Myers, who was a freshman middle blocker, she got a bunch of experience. Maddie Cagino, who came over from Gonzaga, got her first year as libero for your team. You had Maite Camacho, who got some work in there as well in the back row group. Looking overall, when you have 13 returners, the most out of any team you've had, what is the chemistry like being able to work in from last season to this season?
Well, I think it really just speaks to the culture of our program. The group itself is very connected, and as you mentioned, we've got a ton of great individual pieces that are coming back. But we used the spring, the opportunity we had to have everybody in the gym together, especially with 2 transfers coming in and then our freshmen enrolling early. It was a great opportunity to really build and try and lay a foundation. For what kind of team we were going to be. So now with a lot of that experience coming back, it's just about putting those pieces together, creating a level of consistency, developing great habits that we can live by every single day that we know are going to put us in a great position to attack Sun Belt play and hopefully make a deep postseason run.
And, of course, also a couple other players that got some experience for the first time. Kayla Knowles had an increased role last year, and then 2 freshmen outside, Anna Powell and Gabby Babinski. They got some work last season. Now they have a year under their belt. And then for this year, the last 4 years, Kirsten Barrett was the primary setter for this team. Now this year it's going to be a mix of freshman Bella Eckler, but also having Lexi Duffy, who's been with the program for the last couple of years as well. What has that competition been like for those two as you figure out, who's going to be the setter? You ran a 6'2" before. You've gone between a 6'2" and a 5'1" in some seasons before. But what does that outlook like here in practice?
Yeah, I mean, it's really exciting for that position group. There's a lot of versatility, a lot of flexibility within that group. And Lexi and Bella have done an incredible job, even dating back to the spring. Bella coming in early was huge just in terms of her growth and development as a player to get those reps and to build that chemistry with the team. And it's a group, honestly, whether we're in a 5'1" or a 6'2", I have full confidence in both Bella and Lexi. Had a lot of great individual accomplishments. I think the one thing that we've talked about this offseason that really eluded us as a team was just that accomplishing that team goal, which ultimately every year is to compete and win a Sun Belt championship. And so this returning group, most returners we've had, coming back in the history of our program, there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of energy. It's palpable. You can feel they're hungry. They have an appetite, to want to not just get back to that conference tournament, but kind of get this program to the next level, which is to get into a final and ultimately compete for a Sun Belt championship.
And in 2025, there was a lot of newness in the team. A lot of players getting some first-time experience. I mean, Reagan Barth, who's been a 3-time first-team All-Sun Belt, she was leading the way. But you had Sam Bowen, who really got her first bit of experience. Alex Myers, who was a freshman middle blocker, she got a bunch of experience. Maddie Cagino, who came over from Gonzaga, got her first year as libero for your team. You had Maite Camacho, who got some work in there as well in the back row group. Looking overall, when you have 13 returners, the most out of any team you've had, what is the chemistry like being able to work in from last season to this season?
Well, I think it really just speaks to the culture of our program. The group itself is very connected, and as you mentioned, we've got a ton of great individual pieces that are coming back. But we used the spring, the opportunity we had to have everybody in the gym together, especially with 2 transfers coming in and then our freshmen enrolling early. It was a great opportunity to really build and try and lay a foundation, for what kind of team we were going to be. So now, with a lot of that experience coming back, it's just about putting those pieces together, creating a level of consistency, developing great habits that we can live by every single day that we know are going to put us in a great position to attack Sun Belt play and hopefully make a deep postseason run.
And of course, also a couple other players that got some experience for the first time. Kayla Knowles had an increased role last year, and then 2 freshmen outside, Anna Powell and Gabby Babinski. They got some work last season. Now they have a year under their belt. And then for this year, the last 4 years, Kirsten Barrett was the primary setter for this team. Now this year is going to be a mix of freshman Bella Eckler, but also having Lexi Duffy, who's been with the program for the last couple of years as well. What has that competition been like for those two as you figure out, who's going to be the setter? You ran a 6'2" before. You've gone between a 6'2" and a 5'1" in some seasons before. But what does that outlook like here in practice?
Yeah, I mean, it's really exciting for that position group. There's a lot of versatility, a lot of flexibility within that group. And Lexi and Bella have done an incredible job, even dating back to the spring. Bella coming in early was huge just in terms of her growth and development as a player to get those reps and to build that chemistry with the team. And it's a group, honestly, whether we're in a 5'1" or a 6'2", I have full confidence in both Bella and Lexi, to get the job done, to manage this offense. I think that it always helps setters when you're surrounded by, elite talent and you have elite level arms, on the court with you. And so when I think you look around and what we have coming back offensively, for them specifically in the setting position, I look for them not to skip a beat just from what we were doing offensively last year and continue to build and be a team that can attack and score points, all over the place.
And before we go to break, last question for you, Coach. I mean, when you look at just the returners overall, they have that mindset. They know what's expected of this program to go out and compete for championships. So when you have that chemistry overall and you have that goal in mind, how locked in have the players been already in these first few weeks of practice?
Yeah, I mean, there's a great level of focus and intentionality that you see in this team every single day. I was talking with my staff on the way, leaving the gym the other day, and I said this group, it's just, they're attacking everything with a pros mentality. They come in, they don't get too emotionally high, they don't get too emotionally caught up in the lows. They have a consistent approach to how they go about attacking each and every day, and we're in that preseason phase right now, so we're really working on building that foundation going into the season. But we've talked a lot about just stacking moments and stacking days, and it's a group that is very intent just in terms of what they want to accomplish and how they want to choose to come in and set that standard every single day.
Awesome stuff. When we come back after the break, we're going to look at the 2026 fall season schedule, so keep it locked here on the GATA Zone.
Trim for everybody. Now available at Parker's Kitchen.
Welcome back to the GATA Zone. Danny Waugh alongside with head volleyball coach Chad Willis. Coach, before we get into the season for 2026, you talked a lot about the growth of Georgia Southern volleyball, and we actually did the numbers and looked at the first 4 years when you were here as a head coach into the last 3 years in comparison. In the first 4 years, Coach, 45 and 56, but in the last 3 seasons, 64 and 25. And you can't forget about 2 20-win seasons and 2 trips to the NIVC postseason tournament. When you look at the growth and what this team and what you have established from year 1, now getting ready for year 8, how do you assess the growth of Georgia Southern volleyball?
Yeah, just I think the one word that really comes to mind is just proud, and certainly proud the most of our people, everybody who lays hands on our program every single day, from administrators to support staff, coaches, and certainly our student athletes, because they're the ones putting in the work every single day. Just an immense level of pride, for who they are and how they live out our vision and our mission and our values every single day. We talk a lot about being cared for and counted on in our program, and I think anytime that you can go out and you can identify and recruit and bring in, elite level talent, but then more importantly, they're elite level people. It makes doing what you do every single day. And we kind of have this motto, like, love what you do and who you do it with. And, when you bring them together, you can produce some pretty extraordinary things. So we've certainly been blessed and fortunate, these last 8 years as a program, as a staff, to continue to build, to continue to get better. I think as we move forward and we continue to bring those types of players and individuals into the program, sky's the limit. I'm certainly thankful for this administration. It starts at the top, alignment through Dr. Marrero and Chris Davis and our entire administrative team. They give us everything that we need to do to compete for championships every single day. And so, our aim is to do that and make Eagle Nation proud in the process.
Well, one word you really mentioned, Coach, is compete. You have a lot of great competition coming up in the non-conference schedule before you jump on the Sun Belt play. I mean, starting out the year, first and foremost, the team is going out all the way to Hawaii, taking on Hawaii, San Diego, and Baylor to kick off the 2026 season. Then you're back home for the GATA Challenge this Labor Day weekend in September. You kick off Sun Belt play at Coastal Carolina. Some tough competition in the Sun Belt this year. You face Arkansas State at home, who won last year's regular tournament championship. James Madison won the regular season championship. And you finish out the year at South Alabama, who you face in the quarterfinals of the Sun Belt Conference Championship in Foley, Alabama. And you go from South Alabama to Foley later on that November.
Yeah, I know, Danny, when you talk about the schedule, to be the best, you got to beat the best. And we knew coming into this season that we were going to have a lot of great returning pieces and felt like collectively we could piece together something that could be pretty special. And so early on, we knew we wanted to put a schedule in front of this group that was going to challenge us early, and certainly going out to Hawaii and playing in that environment. To be a great team experience. I think it's going to serve as a little bit of team bonding while they're out there as well, which I'm really excited about. But it's the quality of play between Hawaii and San Diego and Baylor. We test ourselves early, and then got a great mix of non-con matches that we feel like are going to help us build a resume, but also start to prepare us for the Sun Belt run that we need to make. And then listen, the Sun Belt it's no joke, man. Like every single night, regardless of who you're playing, whoever's on the other side of the net, you're going to be in for a battle. And so our team's prepared for that. I like the way the schedule has set us up to hopefully peak at the right time in the year, which is that late October, end of November and December, because clearly we want to be in that NCAA tournament. We want to go in as the Sun Belt champion. We want to be representing the league, and so we're excited about the schedule and all the opportunities it presents this year.
You talk about the care factor. To make that trip to Hawaii happen, what were some of the behind the scenes in the process to be able to have that happen and to have the players have an amazing experience like that to kick off the year?
Yeah, well, a really cool story about that, Danny, is honestly, everybody I think any year would be like, yeah, like we want to go to Hawaii and play, but Hawaii is actually really, really, really strictly selective in who they choose to bring out. And so we first reached out to them about the opportunity and what it would take to get out there. And little did we know, they were actually behind the scenes talking to teams that have played us in the last 2 years, teams in our league that they're familiar with, just to say, hey, what kind of opponent are they? Is it a team that's worth having on the schedule from an RPI standpoint? Does it make sense? And so once they got back to us, say, hey, we'd love to have you, we got the ball rolling. We open up the season there. They've got a new coaching staff in place and a little bit of a homecoming for him. And so you're looking probably anywhere from 9,000 to 10,000 people, standing room only, that Friday night in Honolulu. And so it's just going to be an incredible atmosphere for our student athletes to take part in. And regardless of result, to me, that's something that these student athletes will remember for the rest of their lives. And so that's how that came to fruition. And then from there, we were able to kind of piece together the rest of the non-conference slate that we felt like ultimately was going to be advantageous for us going into the Sun Belt play.
Well, final question for you, Coach. We talked about the growth of this volleyball program, and more things are being added this year. I mean, last year, the first season officially being in the Hanner Fieldhouse, the exclusive home for Georgia Southern Volleyball, and seeing the growth there. The Fifth Set Club, one thing that's also being added this year, the way of giving. What do you want Eagle Nation to know about this team as you get ready to kick off the year?
Well, I think the first and foremost, the best way you can support this group and this team and our program is to come to Hanner. Get your butts in the seats this fall. Let's pack Hanner out. Let's create the best game day environment in all of Sunbelt and all of the country, honestly. And that's the best way you can support us. And then if you can, buy season tickets, join the Fifth Set Club, which is our giving society specifically designed for volleyball, and 100% of those dollars go to impact our student athletes directly. So there's lots of ways to get involved with our program, and as we continue to evolve and build, I'm just happy and proud to be a coach at a place and a program where our student athletes, like they're the best of us. They represent Georgia Southern with an immense level of pride and passion and energy every single day. And I think if Eagle Nation comes out and gets a first glimpse at this team, you're going to be hooked. And when you get hooked, we'll get you in hand the rest of the year. And our team feeds off that energy, and it's an electric environment.
Can't wait for it, Coach. Best of luck here this
Thanks,
season.
Danny. Appreciate you. Hail Southern.
Coming up after the break, Capers Childs catches up with senior outside hitter Reagan Barth. So keep it locked here on the GATA Zone.
The region's airport of choice is Savannah Hilton Head International. 11 airlines with unlimited options. Over 30 nonstop destinations. Over 60 daily departures. And we've been voted the #1 U.S. airport 6 years in a row. Savannah Hilton Head International. All you have to decide is where to next. SAV is proud to be the official airport of Georgia Southern. Visit flysav.com.
Welcome back to the GATA Zone. I'm Capers Childs with GATA Productions, here with senior outside hitter Reagan Barth. Reagan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me again.
Reagan, you had a dominant season last season, all the accomplishments, but now as you're heading into your senior year, what are you most proud of from the first 3 seasons?
Yeah, I'm very grateful to be in an environment in a gym every single day where the people around me really elevate me and challenge me to be my best, whether that's the people I'm playing with, so my teammates, or the coaching staff, support staff. They all have done a great job at elevating each other and therefore me.
And then after the successful season that you had last year, what's been your focus this offseason as you're preparing for the fall?
I think this spring we really focused on elevating all parts of our game, whether that's first contact or floor defense to offense. And I'm really grateful that our second setter Bella came in early, and we had a few really good transfers come in to elevate our gym as well.
And then now heading into your senior year, you're a veteran on this roster. And from a leadership standpoint, what are some things that you've been navigating as a leader? And then who are some people that you've been following in the past that you hope to step into this leadership role and follow after them?
Yeah, oh my gosh, that's a really good question. We've had some great senior leadership in the past. I'm really looking forward to, leading, not just myself, but with my 3 other best friends. So the 4 of us have done a lot of thinking and a lot of work off the court to kind of connect together and then be all on the same wavelength so we can lead the rest of our team.
Your season starts in Hawaii, a unique experience. How excited are you for this opportunity, and then also getting to play some great competition so early on in the season?
Man, we are very, very excited to get out there an entire week early too, to do all the fun events and go to the beach, maybe have a luau, all the fun stuff. It's going to be really good for our team morale, and I'm just so excited to get out there and try something new. Senior year, lots of new things to look forward to. So I'm very excited, and I think that's really going to help elevate our entire preseason and non-conference schedule going into conference. I think a lot of things are going to help reflect on what we need to work on.
And you've been a part of this program for the past 3 years under Coach Willis. Talk about your relationship with him.
It's been really good on and off the court. I think we know each other very well. He knows how I like to be coached, and I know kind of what questions to ask him, and we really feed off of each other's energy, and I think that goes the same with the other coaches and the whole coaching staff. So I'm very excited to go into year 4 with him.
And last question I have for you, Reagan, what should Eagle Nation know about you and this team as they get ready to follow you through your senior year?
We're a fun team. We're fun to watch. We feed off of each other's energy every single day. We work really hard, whether that's through our floor defense or through our blocking, through our offense, everything, every single part, it comes together and we all feed off of each other. It's going to be fun.
Well, Reagan, I know Eagle Nation is excited to see everything you're going to accomplish this season, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much
for joining us today. That's all we have for this episode. For head coach Chad Willis, Danny Waugh, and Reagan Barth, I'm Capers Childs, and I'm saying so long from the GATA Zone.